you know what the JLPT is? JLPT is the Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It's a standardized Japanese test that everyone can take around the world, and it's the most popular test and most used test for jobs. So there's 5 levels. It goes from N1 to N5. N1 is the most difficult, while N5 is the easiest. N2 is considered fluent in Japanese, while N1 is more considered as historical Japanese and less widely used Japanese in everyday conversation. Maybe something in the newspaper. On the news, you'll see these kind of words. Anyway, I took N4. N4 is pretty easy. I should be around N3, N2 anyway, but I wanted to try out N4. I took N3 before in high school and early in university. Back in 2014 was the last time I took it, and I failed. I didn't get an overall good score. I didn't fail any sections. Well, there's only 4 sections actually, and the sections are reading comprehension, listening, and vocabulary. Anyway, while I was taking the test, I was thinking, I don't really need this. It doesn't really measure my Japanese ability. It doesn't really measure my Japanese skill. So I want to tell everyone about my experience. So I haven't taken this test in 4 years, but my biggest problem with the Japanese test, not that I want to make the test harder, but it doesn't involve any speaking and doesn't involve any writing. Everything is multiple choice. If you're really good at test taking and process of elimination and guessing, you could probably pass the test. And if you're not good at those things, and if you're better at speaking and writing, you might not pass the test. And that's why I don't think the Japanese Language Proficiency Test, JLPT, is really that great, because it won't help you surviving in Japan. It'll help you only with getting a job in Japan. And these kind of jobs that you'll find is mostly jobs that require Japanese to be spoken in the office. So some people even struggle when they make it to the Japanese office after passing N2 because their Japanese language skill isn't really actually that great. And you can go to a language school here and they will teach you how to pass the test, and they will teach you how to speak Japanese, but it's not always the best kind of Japanese, and mostly those classes are geared towards passing the test. That's my biggest problem with the test, and I've only taken it about twice. I know a lot of people want to pass N1. It's kind of a personal achievement. That's why I took it, because I wanted to get that personal achievement after failing. I want to get my revenge. I want to pass. I want to persevere. And that's why I studied and I took N4. I won't know the results until February, which I'll be announcing with everybody and let everyone know about that. However, I'm pretty sure I passed. It wasn't that hard. Another big problem I had with it is that there's a lot of trick questions. They intentionally try to trick you and play with your mind and do all that kind of stuff to try to get a wrong answer from you, even though you might have a general idea of what it means. And that's kind of where I draw the line for if you're fluent in a language or not fluent in a language, is if everything you want to convey and everything you feel you want to say, you're able to communicate in a certain way. And that's by my definition how you determine if someone is fluent in a language or not fluent in a language, is if everything they need to convey or they want to convey, they're able to convey in some kind of way in their target language. They're pretty fluent, if you ask me. It doesn't mean you know every word in the vocabulary or every sentence or every grammar rule. It's more if you can get by and you can express everything you want to express in the target language you'd like to speak. And I feel that's kind of my level of Japanese. Everything I want to say, I can say. And even if I don't understand the words that someone is using sometimes, or the sentence structure is a little confusing for me, I can generally understand what the speaker is trying to tell me in Japanese, and I can respond in Japanese. And I think that's where I'm pretty satisfied with my abilities, and that's why I don't really study Japanese too much anymore, is because I feel the moment that you feel you don't need to look up the words you want to say in like an everyday conversation, you don't need to search in a dictionary or search your cell phone to see what the word means or translate the word, is the day that you kind of feel you're fluent in the language. I don't ask what a word really means anymore. Even if you don't know the word, this is another kind of secret, is if you don't know the word, try to explain it in Japanese. If you can kind of describe what you want to convey or the word you don't know in the target language, that's pretty much the same thing as being fluent. So you don't really need to be perfect. And it's kind of at that point where you draw the line and saying, I'm sufficient with this. And of course you can always learn more too, but you don't really need to take the Japanese language proficiency test to prove that you're proficient in Japanese. Let's look up fluency right now. I don't know if I really looked that up. So the definition of fluent is able to express oneself easily and articulately. It's kind of similar to what I said before. So you can kind of consider yourself fluent when you're able to express yourself and you don't really need to look it up. You don't have any stops in what your speech is, and it's a really smooth experience. I guess the key takeaway here is don't let a test determine if you're really fluent or if you're really good at a skill or not good at a skill. Keep on practicing and you'll be good at it yourself, and then prove it in your experience. Whether it's Japanese, prove it by being in Japan and be able to survive yourself without looking up anything. Just keep doing it, and if it's your passion, keep at it. Anyway guys, have you guys taken a proficiency test before? Let me know down below in the comments. Like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and click the bell if you want to get updated when I post. Follow me on Instagram _Jalen Shaw. Kuri, my hedgehog, also has an Instagram, Kuri _the_hedgehog. Until next time guys, see you later.